All right, the state of play just ended. I got to watch the entire thing, but Alex didn't because losers gotta work. And so, Alex, what I want to do is I have 6 questions that are PSVR2 centric because this was a state of play, kind of not necessarily centered around PSVR2, but quite a bit of content. And I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to make your best guess, and then you're going to watch just the video about that question and tell me what you think. Are you ready to play?
Yeah, I just want to point out, I'm looking scruffy. I've been homeless for a little while in a big cross-country move. I'm closer to you, Adam. That's the important thing here. But in lieu, in honest PSVR tradition, play PSVR tradition, the come and go was torn down, by the way. My new quote unquote come and go, the Circle K, has G Fuel, literal gamer fuel. And this is the PewDiePie edition. So that's my gamer juice today. We're gonna drink that while we listen. Adam, I'm so excited for this state of play. I need this so badly right now. I need to get excited about PSVR and PlayStation 5. I'm horny for it. So let's go.
Something in your life. Okay, first question. Which Capcom game will be released for the PSVR2? Dino Crisis, Monster Hunter Rise, Resident Evil 4, or Dead Rising? What's your guess?
Obviously not Monster Hunter Rise. Obviously not Dead Rising. I want to say Resident Evil 4 because that was out for Quest 2. So it's like, yeah, just put it on PSVR. But it didn't look great on the Quest 2. So it seems like it would be wasting the potential of the PSVR 2. I don't even think you know what Dino Crisis is. That's why I think it has to be Dino Crisis because it's on the list. And that has me freaking pumped. If Dino Crisis is on PSVR 2, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm just going to quit right now. We'll be done. That's all I need.
Okay, look at on the state of play on the YouTube video, minute 14:45. And for those of you watching this video, I'm going to put the trailer up so you can just watch it here. You don't need to go to an additional YouTube video.
Can I hit play? We good?
Hit play. Let's watch it.
It's going. It's going slow. Okay.
Okay. What do you think it is?
Looking dark. I see a D. No, that's an R. Is that an R or a B? R. Okay, so it's Resident Evil 4. Why? Does it look way better? Is there something new here? What's going on?
Well,
there is no R in Dino Crisis. Okay, R in.
There is no R. There is Dino Crisis.
Resident Evil 4. Okay, so it's Resident Evil 4, obviously.
There's no R in Dino Crisis.
Condor 1. So what is this gonna? Is this a remake of Resident Evil 4?
Ooh.
Adam, you just got me pumped. What's going on here? I can't hear anything. Oh, there we go. Oh, that looks great.
You just got me laughing. There's no R in Dino Crisis.
And I didn't even know. There was rumors of a PSVR or of Resident Evil 4 remake. There were no rumors of a Resident Evil 4 remake in VR. And you said it's in VR. It's not looking like VR yet. Oh my God, if this is in VR. I mean, I just played this on Quest 2. It was looking great. Oh, that looks so good.
And I've never played Resident Evil 4, even, back in the day. So it's going to be a completely new game for me.
It's just like the best action game ever made, maybe. And, oh, that looks great. I want to, hopefully they show gameplay. I got to see gameplay. Because, I mean, of course the cutscenes are going to look good.
Yeah.
Well, I know the whole story. Like, all of this looks the same as Resident Evil 4, which, that's cool. But I just beat it on Quest 2, like, a couple months ago. How pumped are we going to be? Are they going to show any more? How long does it go? Oh, here we go. Yeah, here's Leon driving in the car. I just want to forget what happened that night. The pain of my girlfriend, the president's daughter.
Unfortunately, no gameplay, right? So a bit.
Well, I think that's gameplay footage, just not in the VR perspective. Like that looks like it's rendered March 24th, 2023. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know. Maybe this is a subsequent question. I'm trying to figure out if this is launch title or not. It doesn't say PSVR here, Adam. Are you sure this is PSVR?
No, near the end it says for development of PSVR. So it is a remake for the PS5, but it's also at least some components of PSVR 2, and I'm going to assume it's probably the whole game.
This is some big blue ballery happening right here. It says PlayStation VR 2 content also in development, which is like,
yeah.
When you say like VR content, that tells me like, oh, it's going to be an add-on mode where it's like you can look at the guns and then that's it. I hope to God it's the game. I hope it's not just.
So my thought was that they had the Quest, and I heard it didn't look great, and there were some limitations, but they did it for the Quest, learned, okay, this works for the game, this doesn't work for the game, and then they are going to use the more powerful PSVR2 and PS5 to render that and fully create an experience that is much more immersive and hopefully better than the Quest, is what I'm hoping. I mean, makes sense that they could make that happen. So I'm sad that you were pumped for Dino Crisis and that isn't, going to happen. But how pumped are you? Are you more excited for the PS5 just remake or also to play some of it in VR?
I'm more excited for the VR component because, like I just said, I played Resident Evil 4 in VR already. It was the same game, just in VR, a lot easier in VR than it is handheld. If it's like a shot-for-shot remake, like the same game, just better graphics, I'm not that enthused by it. But I have a feeling they're going to be smart about it. They're going to make it really good. But what you mentioned, like it should be easy to transition over. This is that RE engine that RE7 was built on, so it should be easy to get it in PSVR. The one big glaring question is, what are we going to do? Is it going to have hand controls, or is it still going to be like look to aim if they do PSVR2? I have so many questions. I just need to see more. But that's a promising start to this. The one disappointment is they led with Resident Evil 4 PSVR2. It makes me feel like there's not going to be any more mention specifically of Resident Evil 8 in VR, which is what we all wanted. So I guess I just gotta have to sit tight. Maybe there's something there. Don't spoil it for me, but that's
Okay. Next question.
started off hot, went soft.
How many Resident Evil games are there in development for PSVR 2?
I didn't even look at this question. Okay.
Yeah.
2. Resident Evil 8 is going to be one of them. Hopefully. Yeah. My God.
I didn't play any footage there for you because there was no gameplay, or it just looked like a normal trailer for Resident Evil 8. But they said it is in development and it's PSVR 2 compatible. So that's pretty baller. Like, what one would you be more excited to play? I know you just played Resident Evil 4, which is kind of a bummer because then to play the same game again, just who wants to do that? But Resident Evil 8 or Resident Evil 4? As a newcomer like me, I haven't played either one of them. What do you think is the one I'm going to enjoy more, or I should be more excited for?
If the full game of Resident Evil 4 is in VR, you should be more excited for that one. It's a known quantity. It's a classic, and you never played it, so you got a lot of awesome stuff there. Personally, me, Resident Evil 8 in VR, I want more of that RE7 action, and I want that in VR. Now, I need you to clarify for me, Adam. It sounded like you said there was confirmation that RE8 is in PSVR2 development. I haven't seen anything in the video, and I paused it to not have spoilers. Was there confirmation somewhere that RE8 for PSVR2 is in development?
Yeah, Village, right?
Yeah. Where am I getting that? Where am I missing that?
Put that at the very end of the videos, and in State of Play, they were like, we're going to show you 4 games right off the bat in development for PSVR 2, and it went Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 8, and then 2 more we're going to talk about.
You just knew that would have been such a great reveal for me, and now it's been muted. I'm still excited to see it though, so I won't complain, Adam. Let's just keep this ball rolling.
Okay.
Here we go, Adam. I started up here thinking Dino Crisis, dropped down thinking Resident Evil, dropped back up thinking Resident Evil PSVR 2, PSVR 2 content, but then you mentioned RE8. I'm back up top. We're back up top where we started.
I'm going to try to get you to blow up. So the PSVR title that is getting a sequel in PSVR 2 is Thumper, Iron Man VR, Blood and Truth, or Walking Dead Saints and Sinners.
Okay, Iron Man VR, that would be a waste because it wasn't that big of a hit, and I don't think they obviously don't want to go for it, right? They don't want you punching humans as Iron Man, so they're not going to do anything cool. Nobody wants that. Blood and Truth, that makes a lot of sense. Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is getting a sequel already shown for like Quest, so I know that's in development. It would be stupid to not release it. But it's coming out for Quest. So like, how much better is it going to be on? No, it's got to be that. It's got to be that because they showed footage that looked great, and that was on the PC. That's what it's going to. It's got to be Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2. Thumper would be good, but I don't think that's not sequel worthy. It did its whole thing. So yeah, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2. It's got to be it.
1850. So minute 1850.
18. Trying not to go too far. Oh, so they did show I should have just kept it rolling so I could see the Resident Evil Village. Okay, I'll start at the end of the Village. That's PSVR 2 on Village. That's going to be so good. Sorry, I'm finishing out the Village trailer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty pumped for it.
Yeah.
Because I know we're gonna get it. I just want PSVR2 in general, man.
All right. So yeah, this is Is this Walking Dead Saints and Sinners? It's got somebody grabbing a knife.
I don't know.
Looking
You tell me.
looking zombie-ish, but almost not. This can't be Iron Man for sure. Okay, yeah. So there's zombie people in the bayou. That's Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, but this looks way better than the footage I think I saw at like that meta.
Yeah,
Is it going to
I
be?
didn't see that for the Quest. I didn't know it was already in development, which is kind of a bummer. It seems like they're taking Quest games and now making the PSVR2 games. But hey, if they make mistakes, learn from it, make it better, and then I get to play it for the first time in PSVR2, I'm okay with that. I mean, Saints and Sinners in general was a great game, right? So to make a sequel,
Yeah.
you would think is going to be better. It's already a good concept. So
It looks awesome. It looks awesome. And here's the thing. Maybe we're getting a reversal now. Whereas when PSVR 1 came out, we got like the neutered version of Arizona Sunshine and it was like not great. Now we're getting like the beefed up version of the better version of Arizona Sunshine, which is Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2. So like I'm on board with this. Excellent game. It's going to be an excellent sequel. I have no reason to believe it's not. And well, it's going to be a great launch title. Hopefully it launches. That's going to be a real winner of a launch title if that's what comes out.
Yeah, I like how it looks really fun, really active. It's really gory. I mean, I know the first one was similar to that too, but it's a perfect game to have in VR, in my opinion, especially with the new hand controllers, eye tracking. Like, there's a lot of stuff PSVR 2 is going to have that I think is going to play really well to that type of game. How far are you into the trailer, or have you seen it already?
I've seen it already. I watched it all.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. So now, which previous PSVR title is receiving additional content? So not a whole new game, but additional content for the PSVR 2. Wipeout Omega Collection, No Man's Sky, Gran Turismo, or Thumper?
So Gran Turismo, they're like having a hard time keeping themselves up with that just as it is. So I don't think it's Gran Turismo. Thumper, I think that's your throwaway. I mean, it'd be great, but whatever, like that's fine. Wipeout Omega Collection, like that's complete. Wipeout's done. Nobody's talking about new Wipeouts. I don't think they're going to add more to that Omega Collection. No Man's Sky is the game that keeps giving. It's no surprise if they're going to keep adding content to that game. And they already beefed up the PSVR 1 version for PS5. They're going to make it super beefy for PSVR 2. Of course. That's got to be it. That's got to be it.
All right, minute 2012.
2012. All right, that's where I'm at.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Okay. We're in the hangar. We're picking a ship. He just jumps right in.
Dude, I feel bad because No Man's Sky, they just keep putting out content. And I don't play it for some reason. It's like I played a lot of it when it first came out for VR, but then I stopped because I'm like, it's so massive. I feel like I can't complete it. And when I don't want to say that. When I can't complete, I don't like it, So, No Man's Sky, I don't know, but I feel bad. I need to start playing it again. Like, you're right. It's a gift that keeps giving. It's just nonstop more. I don't know how these guys keep making money.
Yeah, right. Because they don't charge you for it is a thing. So the thing about No Man's Sky is like, the longer you wait to start playing it, the better it is for you. I started playing it when it came out on PSVR, and it was cool, but I could tell that like I'm not getting the full experience because it can't handle it. It couldn't handle it. It looked okay, but like the draw distance wasn't great. Things felt kind of clunky. The wand controllers just weren't good. So with new controls, with analog sticks, and then optimization for PS5, this is going to be like the ultimate version of No Man's Sky. So I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. I'm finally ready to start playing No Man's Sky, which I've started a couple times, but after one session, I kind of never touch it again because it's that game you get for $5.
Yeah, that's the thing too. It's so cheap. So it's not like they're convincing more people to play it and they're making $60 every time they do. It's like go to a GameStop and buy it for $5. I don't know.
Here's my question. Here's my question for you, Adam, real quick. Knowing you already have No Man's Sky, how much would you be willing to pay to get the PS5 version for PSVR 2? Maybe they add like a deal. You got to pay $10, $20. Would you do it, even though it's the same game with all the add-ons that came on, but just to get it to work on PSVR 2? Would you go for that?
My issue is I haven't played much of it in the past 2 years. So I don't know if I would personally keep playing it, because if I liked it a lot, I would have already played it, right? I would probably pay $10, $15 Probably not more than that, but mainly because that PSVR2 immersion, really the hand controls, the eye tracking, and it was a fun game. Like I said, it was just so much game to consume that it's a bit intimidating. But yeah, I would do 10, 15 bucks.
Let's be honest. There's not going to be that many launch titles. It's going to be the launch. I'm hoping it's a launch title. I'm hoping it's ready at launch. It should be. That's going to be the game that like makes you feel happy to have a PSVR 2, right? Like if Resident Evil's not ready, 4 or 8, then
dude,
this is going to be the game.
One of
this
them
is going to be the game that's like, I'm glad I got PSVR 2. I'm glad I paid $8,000 for PSVR 2 because I can at least play No Man's Sky all day.
Okay, next question. What 2 actions can you not perform in virtual reality when playing Horizon Call of the Mountain? So which ones can you not do? Rock climb, menstruate, swim, shoot arrows, grapple, ride a clothesline, or build a fire by hand?
I mean, obviously, menstruate. Like, just it's funny, but it's an obvious. Not
You don't know that. You don't know that. Okay,
so,
yeah.
So I'm here. You're basically checking the list of things that like basic VR games. Rock climbing, that was Carnival Games. Everybody loved it. Swimming, I don't know if that's been done well in VR. We'll see. Shoot arrows, obviously you're going to do that. Like that's the whole game. Grapple, I feel like that's going to be similar to rock climbing. So I don't know what the difference, unless you mean like fist fighting grapple, maybe.
No.
Ride a clothesline, that's really obscure. So of course that's going to be in there. Build a fire by hand. Yeah, that's an easy win, right? You just go like. So I think the answer is going to be swim and menstruate. Honestly, I hope the answer is swim. I don't want to swim in VR. I don't want to do it. It's not going to feel good.
We're watching at 21:02.
All right, I'm at 21:00, but yeah.
Yeah. This is, I think this is maybe the longest trailer. I mean, it's not crazy long, but you actually get to see some of the gameplay, and it's a little slower building, but
I'm getting wicked Batman vibes from this. Just the whole idea of it is like, you know, Batman Arkham City, Batman Arkham Asylum came out, huge hit. So they were like, let's make Batman in VR. And then it's like a side story thing that's like tacked on. You play for an hour and you're done. This feels like a tech demo, like something that should be free and you play it for an hour. You get your friends over, you want them to play PSVR 2, you want them to not make fun of you for dropping $8,000 on PSVR 2. You're going to have them play this game because it's going to be like, oh, gee whiz, look at how great this is. But you know, when they all leave and you sit down to play games, you're like, I'm not going to play that hour-long experience side story tie-in again. Okay, that looks kind of cool, the like jumping and grabbing on the ledge of the slowdown. Of course, bow and arrow, Apex Construct stuff right there. Mm-hmm. That's looking good. Okay, there's locomotion. That's looking promising. But I'm seeing like one enemy at a time. Maybe that's how that game worked. I never played Horizon Zero Dawn or anything.
And then you got in a cluster of enemies, but often, especially for the bigger enemies, it's like one-on-one. And I feel like it could work really well. Like the idea of, I think it would be more fun in VR than playing the flat version, because flat version I didn't love, but this, like, to be more active, actually hunting the machines, a lot of it seems much more enjoyable. And I also noticed, I don't think you play as Aloy. I think
they said Ryas.
Yeah.
I guess is. And
to my knowledge, unless he's in Forbidden West, and I haven't played that yet, I don't know who that is. So it may just be some made up dude.
Which is good, right? I don't want to have played the other games to play this and enjoy it. And one thing I'll say, they seem to be underselling a bit. I mean, there's a lot of rock climbing and grappling. I really like the idea that it seems like this game is like, hey, you're at the base of the mountain. You need to climb to the top of it. And you're going to fight robot dinosaurs along the way. That's a cool premise. And it really plays into the value of VR of like making you feel on edge because you're way high up. That can be really awesome. I'm thinking like, remember Last of Us 2 when you're walking across that skyscraper? That was awesome. That kind of thing in VR, top notch. So yeah, I was kind of, when they announced, Call of the Mountain, I was very low on it. Like, that's a Batman experience. Like, it might be fun, but whatever. But if this is 5 hours long of real content, not like replayable content, but real content, I'm on board with this. I'm more hyped than I'm way more hyped than I thought I would be for this.
Yeah, I'm about in the same. I have to think it's pretty fledged out. They also specifically say near the end that it is exclusive for the PS5, of course, or PSVR2. So the only exclusive title that they have talked about so far, I can't imagine them making that a 1 hour experience, especially when they announced it a while ago, right? So to do all that hype, and it's one of your biggest franchises as a company, I really hope that it is like a decent sized game. Also, you lost, you can swim, but they never showed you building a fire. So
Oh wow. I guess that, yeah, they didn't show it. I didn't
yeah,
see the swimming. Maybe I did see the swimming and just chose to ignore it.
you fall into the water and then you
Oh
start.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Last question, then we'll just have some general discussion from the trailers. You have seen all the PSVR2 trailers here. From what you have seen, what key piece of information did you gain regarding the PSVR2 loosely? Nothing hard, but loose. The PSVR1 backward compatibility, controller compatibilities, or capabilities rather, sorry, release date, or number of launch games.
So is one of these right? Is that what I'm doing? One of these is right?
One of these, they, in my opinion, and this is somewhat unfair, gave you a hint of one of these.
I mean, controller capabilities, obviously, like the Call of the Mountain gave you locomotion, but we knew that. So there's nothing new there. PSVR1 backwards compatibility. I mean, I feel like it's inherent, but nothing proved that to me, right? Like No Man's Sky was on PSVR1, but there's nothing that didn't tell me that PSVR2 is going to play PSVR1 games. It gave me a hint about the release date, that they're saying Resident Evil 4 is being released March of 2023. But again, that PSVR2 content could be released whenever. We don't know. So number of launch games. I mean, we know the number of launch games is at least one, because Call of the Mountain's a launch game, but it didn't. There could be 10 games. There could be 4 games. We know there's 4 games in development, but I don't know controller capabilities. I don't feel like I learned anything new with that. I will say release date. Like I have a little bit, a nugget of knowledge in terms of release date, as in it's probably going to be around that March 2023. That's my guess.
Yeah. So after the fact, I realize this question sucks, and my heart is broken because and I know you're watching this live, so you didn't really get to digest it. On the Saints and Sinners, when it was like for development, PSVR 2, it had a launch date of 2022. And I was like, yes, but it is also compatible with PSVR 1. And if you read the PlayStation, it's coming in PSVR 1 in 2022 and PSVR 2 in 2023. So I think it's cemented that PSVR 3 or 2 is coming in 2023, which is why I was so excited. I was like, yes, by Christmas, I'm going to be minus $8,000, but I'm going to have a PSVR 2. And now, my soul is crushed. But you are right. The fact that like No Man's Sky and Saints and Sinners, they're backwards compatible for these games. So I guess that's cool. We did learn that, whether we assumed it or not. Same thing, controller capabilities. Like we learned some stuff, but nothing really new. And we have no idea about the launch game. So from that, I'm still pretty excited. I don't know. I was holding out for a 2022 launch date, to be honest, especially when I saw that Saints and Sinners thing and I fooled myself into thinking it was going to be released then. Oh, but you're right. I feel like by March 2023, one of those Resident Evil games has to be a launch game, right? I mean, they have to be.
It's got to be, because Resident Evil 7 was like a launch window game, right? I don't think 7 was out at launch, but it was a launch window game. I think that's what they're going to be shooting for. I really hope 8 is a launch window game. Like that's going to be such a feather in the cap. Like, man, if Sony can lock down Resident Evil 8, like people are going to be buying it just for that. And it's going to make me feel justified in not having played Resident Evil 8, even though I bought it at launch. I'm certainly not going to touch it now that I know it's coming in VR. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I get it. But I want to play it, and now I want to play it in VR. I don't want to waste my experience on the non-VR version. It's still, yeah, it's kind of a kick in the nads. Like March 2023, I get it. Like we're halfway through with 2022, so like it's a little bit more waiting. And it's kind of, The good thing is March is kind of a lull period, I think, for games. Like once you get past the Christmas rush, like there's that quiet period, and it'll be nice to have this like bring the ruckus, bring the noise at the beginning of the year for 2023, and hopefully like supply chain issues are hammered out then, so there's not like the scarcity of the console,
Yeah.
of the hardware. So I here's the thing, like why would I get Saints and Sinners 2 for PSVR 1 if I know I'm going to get a PSVR 2? I feel like they're shooting themselves. Like, of course, there's people who are never going to get PSVR 2. They have PSVR 1. They're going to get it cheap. They can play Saints and Sinners. Great. But the fact that it's coming out on PSVR 1, like, I certainly don't want to touch it. I don't want the broken version of the game or the version with bad controls. So cool that that's coming out 2022, but it's certainly not my bag. I'm not interested in it. I'm only interested in the PSVR 2 version of any of these games now.
Yeah.
But it's nice to finally see something. It's nice to finally see footage, and it's nice that Horizon Call of the Mountain's looking good, real good.
Yeah. No doubt. And some of the other PS5 related news, real quick. Spider-Man is coming out on PC on August 12th. There's Stray, the PS5 game with the cat, coming out July 19th, and it is a PlayStation Plus game. So you and I will, assuming we at least get the extra tier, are going to get that for free. There is a game called Callisto Protocol. Looks real good. It kind of reminds me of the Persistence, like third-person shooter, alien-looking kind of lab experiments gone wrong or coming after you. Definitely a horror game. Looks good. I'm very interested in that. Let's see. The Street Fighter 6 is coming out, and I liked it. It looks like a tournament fighter, but there's also a bit of like, not necessarily real world, but you actually go in the street. So it's a little bit of like Final Fight, and then of course Street Fighter. They're going back to like the graffiti art and the watercolor. Like, I like that. Did you ever play Street Fighter in the past? Were you a Street Fighter fan?
I really got into Street Fighter 2, and then beyond that, like these fighting games, it's like I can't learn a whole new fighter's move set. I don't like fighting games that much to where it's like I'm excited to learn how to fight again. So that's, I mean, it's cool. I know people love Street Fighter. Street Fighter 6 is a big announcement for some people, but for me, it's just like that's a game I might play like one night if it's free on PlayStation Plus, but I'm not going to touch it ever again unless there's something like dramatically new about it, or maybe you and I get in some weird competition and we're going to play it. But other than that, it doesn't really move the needle much for me.
Yeah. There's another game for PS5 and 4 called Tunic coming out in September. I noticed because you're a little fox and it's isometric view, which for some reason I like those games. I don't know why. Looks like it could be a fun game. And then they had Final Fantasy 16 info, a new trailer. That really looked fun. Really fast-paced, dynamic. It looked like some of the combat from like Stranger of Paradise. So just really fast. They showed gameplay on the PS5, you know how they do it. Holy crap, does it look intense, and it looks so good. So that's what State of Play was. Given that information, knowing PSVR 2 is a while out, are you more hyped now, or what are your overall thoughts going into still, having to look at 9 months until a potential release date?
I'm just happy to have anything. I mean, I can wait a little while for PSVR 2. Now that we kind of have a benchmark-ish, like 2023, I can come to grips with that. I'm just happy we saw footage and it didn't look neutered. Like PSVR 1 games look neutered compared to PS4 games. But the PS5 seems beefy enough that like Call of the Mountain didn't look neutered. I mean, there's only one enemy, but okay, that's fine for what we're doing. And No Man's Sky looked awesome. It looked like a no compromises version of No Man's Sky in VR, which is what I'm wanting. Like if it looks as good as the PS4 version did, but just completely in VR, then yeah, that's great. So really, like what we saw didn't get me too hyped. I was already hyped for it. But the news we got of Resident Evil 8 VR, like the confirmation of that's what makes me feel good. That's what got me hyped. And I don't even know what to think about Resident Evil 4 content. Like I don't want to get my heart broken on that. I've been there and done that. But yeah, we're sitting pretty. I started up really high. You got me really high with Dino Crisis, like coming out of the blue. Drop down low.
Dino Crisis doesn't have an R.
Call of the Mountain brought me back up because I was low on it. Walking Dead, like I already knew that, so that's not a huge surprise. But the RE8 kept me up, so I'd say I'm a little bit below where I was going into a state of play, but not much lower. So if I was coming in expecting an A, we probably got an A minus for my hype level now, which is not bad. It's not bad. We got plenty of time to learn a whole lot more. I'm really hoping for an Astrobot at some point. And Summer Game Fest is just beginning. Hopefully more info trickles out. So we got plenty to be thankful for, plenty to be excited for, and we have until March to learn more stuff. So I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I don't know though. I would rather not have any information and then they say, guess what? Within 6 months, you're going to have PSVR2 and here's some actual footage. Because to be quite honest, I've gotten into these lulls where I forgot about gaming. I've forgotten about PSVR2. So I have no hopes. I'm not thinking about it. And when you make me think about it and you're like, state of play and it's PSVR centered, and then you're not elaborating on, hey, this game that you said is for PSVR 2 has a release date of 2022, and you get my hopes up, but you don't elaborate that that's for the PSVR 1. It's like a roller coaster. I go from being like hyped that, yeah, Resident Evil 4, I want to play even in flat. Of course, I will wait depending on if it's a full game in VR and play it. But I was super pumped. Resident Evil 8 is great. We still think Resident Evil 7 is one of the best PSVR games, even though it's older, just because the concept is there. So that's awesome. Call the Mountain, okay, whatever. No Man's Sky, kind of whatever. But really, knowing I have to wait 9 months is that hurt. And I mean, maybe it comes out in the beginning of 2023. Who knows? But to know it's not coming anytime soon, still. For me personally, I would have rather them not even said anything and wait until really close, because that's when you get hyped people, right? Like when it's a surprise, and whether it's a new game, whether it's a version update, whether it's a new console, they're just like, boom, it's available. People lose their effing mind. Like, I wish that's what they would do, but maybe there's others like you who want the plan in advance.
I will say that this is not the PSVR2 showcase that maybe we were all hoping for. This was like here's PlayStation 5 games, here's PSVR2 games, like go for it, whatever. I wish we would have had like a bigger splash to showcase PSVR2 launch. Maybe there's more of that coming. I really want like a, guess what? Shut up, everybody. We're talking about PSVR2 today. Here's everything laid out on the table. And of course, we're going to get that when they officially announce the launch date, and they officially announce the price, and they officially announce Astro Bot World or something like that.
Yeah.
That's when we're going to get the big meat, the big thick meat. But until then, this kept me afloat.
Yeah, I don't know why going into it, their marketing was, we're going to talk about PSVR 2. Like, that was the first thing they said. So I thought this was going to be centered around VR, more information, release dates, more actual gameplay footage. And you saw all the trailers. It was like maybe 5 minutes worth of trailers. And then the rest of it was PS5, which again is fine. But I don't know why they're marketing the state of play like that. But whatever. Either way, I hope I at least did. Lee said you're, a little more hyped. We're not out of our minds excited, but I think overall you're right. We're leaving hopeful for the PSVR 2, and hopefully we get more information. Hopefully we will keep making content with our excitement. Hopefully it keeps rising and rising. We need the Astrobot game. So you guys tell us what you thought about the state of play. What do you think about PSVR 2? If you're happy, excited, hopeful, thanks for watching. Take care.